not been a year yet, so that's good. I'm keeping on schedule, woohoo! Yeah, if you watched my last video, thank you for watching that. I noticed that it was really bright as well. That happened when I was recording it. When I actually filmed it, it wasn't that bright. I don't know what happened, but hopefully this one's like not as bright. I don't think it is. I also broke the phone holder that I used to record, so that's great. Gonna have to buy a new one of those today before I start drawing. I also realised in the last video that for some reason when I talk to the camera I talk really slow, like I'm gonna fall asleep. In real life I definitely don't speak like that as far as I'm aware. I talk quite quickly, I think. So yeah, that's a bit weird. Yeah, so today I'm gonna do a draw with me. I'm not 100% sure what I want to draw yet. I'm kind of feeling maybe Pokemon or maybe dragons. I saw the announcement for the new Spyro trailer and it looks friggin' amazing. I absolutely love Spyro. My favourite Spyro game is The Legend of Spyro Dawn of the Dragon, where you can play as Spyro and Cinder and you can fly at any time. I played that on PS2 and oh, it's so friggin' good. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend going and playing that. If they remaster that, I will lose my mind because it's so good. But anyway, yeah, comment down below what your favourite Spyro game is, if you like Spyro. Yeah, I think I will draw Spyro actually because he's pretty cute and I love dragons, so yeah. So yeah, this video is literally just a draw with me, so if you want to watch me draw, then carry on watching.
1 mile in fog patches and showers early Friday, but improving to greater than 6 miles on Friday morning.
Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper.
Okay, now that I've looked for my references, I'm starting by sketching out the structure of Spyro. So I went with my own posing rather than just straight up copying a pose that already exists, which kind of made it a little bit more difficult, to be honest, because I'm used to drawing wolves. Like, I obviously draw more stuff than wolves, but I draw wolves in a certain way, and I think I was trying to draw Spyro the same way that I draw wolves, and at first it didn't quite look right. As you can see, I've switched around the sketchbook and done him landscape rather than portrait. I got there in the end, but it was frustrating for a little while. But yeah, I literally start like a stick man. I draw a ball for the head and then I do little balls for the joints, and yeah, you can see what I'm doing, hopefully. But yeah, once I'm happy with how his body's looking, I darken up the lines a bit, so that when I go to paint the watercolour on top, it doesn't just completely disappear underneath and I can't see him anymore. There I'm doing his little spiky bits on his head and his horns, and for some reason I quite struggled with his face, even though for me usually the face is the easiest part, but hey ho. on to the actual watercolour part. So here I'm just covering the whole page with water. I did accidentally use a bit too much. As you can see, the paper decided to bend, but it still worked out in the end. But yeah, just making it all wet helps the paint to spread easier. To be honest, this is the second watercolour I've done in about 4 years or something like that, and I'm not that experienced with watercolours, so this was more of a practice more than anything. And yeah, I really enjoy how it goes. Like, I find it really relaxing, and I just find it really satisfying, like watching the water do its own thing. Like, as you can see, no matter how much I decide to put it in one place, it's like, no, I'm going to a different place. But I like that. I like how it's like kind of unpredictable. It makes it really fun to use, and I really like how it's going so far. So with watercolour, you obviously have to add loads of layers for it to be pigmented and saturated. One problem that I came across with that is his features were starting to disappear. So you can see his face, the more darkness I'm adding to the face, I'm starting to lose the definition stuff. But I'll put that back in later, and I always outline my drawings after I paint them as well, so it's not that big of a deal, but that is one thing to expect when using watercolour, unfortunately. But it turned out okay in the end, so I'm happy with that. So now I'm just adding a bit more pink back into it because I felt like it was starting to look a bit pale, like there wasn't enough purple. Like you can see, because of all the water, it's sort of like losing its colour. So I'm just going in with the pink where I feel like the highlights would be, to try and brighten them up a little bit. most satisfying part for me. So this is where I'm adding back all the definition using an outlining pen. I'm not quite sure what this one is called. I think it's a uni pen. But unfortunately, because the pen had gone quite like crispy on the page, I was struggling to make it like show up enough, and it was making the pen dry out, which was annoying. But yeah, again, I'm not used to using watercolour, so I wasn't quite sure what to use for it. So yeah, as you can see, I'm just trying my best with it, but I wasn't getting very far, and it's frustrating me. I kept wiping off the end of the nib, and the pen was just stopping working. So then I tried a brush pen by the same brand, and it worked at first, but again very quickly dried out. So then I ended up resorting to using a marker pen. So they're the dual tip markers, and it was just the black one that I used. Obviously that one's a lot thicker than a standard outlining pen, so I had to be careful not to press on too hard, because I didn't want the lines to be like really blown out or anything like that. But yeah, I was really happy with the result of that, and obviously you can see it looks a lot more like Spyro now that you can actually see his face and stuff, so woo! Right, now we're on to the final step of making it pop, and that's by using a white marker pen to give him highlights. For me, I absolutely love giving the eyes highlights. I just feel like it actually brings them to life and makes them stand out so much more. I've always used a white pen to do highlights on my drawings. I can't remember where I learned it from, but yeah, I just feel like it makes the drawings pop so much more. Again, I was struggling with this one because the paint kept sticking to the end of the pen and it was turning a different colour, so then I ended up highlighting him like pink and it looked really odd. So then I kept scratching off the end of the tip again and it still didn't work, so I went over it several times to try and like brighten up a bit, and that still didn't work. So then I think I ended up changing to a different white pen, and that was even worse because that was a thinner pen. So then I resorted to using white acrylic paint, which I've never done that before, so my hands were incredibly shaky, but it definitely worked a lot better because it went on smoother and it stood out a lot more, so that's what I ended up using. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you like my drawing and hopefully you want to see more. If you do, then please like and subscribe and follow my art Instagram if you would. That'd be really nice. I'd really appreciate that. And if there's any art that you want to share with me, then post it on Instagram and hashtag my username and I will definitely have a look at that. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!